going to get stuck into my week in the life. I have this album. It's a Heidi Swap 6x8 landscape album. I've had it sitting in my cupboard for a little while, and so it comes with 4 6x8 protectors, 4 of the 4 and 6, and 4 of the 3 and 4 inches. So I'm going to use this paper pad, and I've got some ephemera that come with it. I've also made some cards in here. I made these a little while ago just with my jelly plate on some 12x12 paper and then chopped up. So some is using the jelly plate, some's using the paper all collaged up. So I've got those as well, and then I've got this big stack of photos. So some are printed as 4-ups, some are printed as 2s, and some are just printed as one page. So I'm going to start with my title page, and then I've got to go through and sort out the order of the photos because I don't quite remember the order of them. So that's my plan today, is make a title page. Possibly I'm thinking what I'm going to do is slice up these ones and use a 2x3s to create a timeline that I can possibly stick on my wall and then decide which size of each that I want to use. So I've printed everything as each size. So let's get a title page made. So what I'm thinking I might do is I'm going to open this up. I'm actually thinking for my title page that I may not put it in a page protector. I'm thinking I might just do it as a sheet. Try and get this plastic off. I actually don't know that these albums exist anymore. I saw it on Pinterest. Somebody had used this layout and it looked really cool, so I went hunting and I found it in stock. It's been really hard to find the page protector, so that's why I'm thinking the front cover can just be loose and then I can use these other ones for the rest. So I've got a few of the full size. So I'm going to do a mix of Project Life and regular scrapbooking is my plan. So I'm just going to quickly measure the length of that. Yes, that's about bang on 9 when you include that. So I'm going to cut a 6x9 piece of cardstock. Close that, move that out of the way. I'm starting to run low on my white cardstock, so that could be a little bit of a problem as we work through this project, but we'll see how we go. I took these photos back in October, so they've literally been sitting on my to-do list since then. So I'm just going to go with any progress is good progress at the minute. Let's see, small amount, I can use that for something. That'll be about 3 inches, so I can use that as like one of the 3x4 cards or something. I originally started doing these to do Project Life for this year, but I haven't made a lot of progress on that, so let's do this instead. I don't know that I've actually got a photo to use as the cover photo. Am I overthinking this? Quite possibly. So let's see what we've got here. Maybe if I use that one there, that's kind of cool. Oh, outfit of the day will be good because I've definitely got some of those in there. Okay, so some of these could be really useful for this, I think. So these. Oh, I like that. I was thinking that, but maybe something like that. Yeah, so many of these are going to be so useful, I think. So I think I'm just going to use those two. I might even do that so that goes up like that. I mean, like some jelly printing could look cool. Maybe I need to just print directly on there. So I've got some offcuts from where I made these ones up here. Just going to have a bit of a play. I'll move this up so that I'm actually in the frame as I'm working. Let's adjust. There we go. Come back and straighten that up if I need to, but Sometimes I'll hand cut like that and then just put the cut edge like in there. So I love paper pads like this that are kind of mixed media-ish already. Then I can just add my own twist to it. I don't know how I'm feeling about this one because there's not a lot of, so it's all from the same set, but there's not a lot of this in here. But I could always use that, do some paint maybe up this way, because I definitely want to do something behind this piece. So this is really cool. It's got some like pre-made project life-sized cards. Okay, so I'm into the second printing of that. Okay, so what if we start with that, and then it's almost the right color, isn't it? Maybe I could do like some stencils or even just like a paint swipe or a bit of both. Okay, let me see what other colors I've got in here. That one. And then I'm going to pull out some stamps. I'm going to go with that one because it's like the story of our week. And like that's one of my main stamps that I use like all the time. I might just grab that little stamp there as well. So then the question is what colors to use. Then what I do have actually is up here is a boxed set of gelatos. Maybe like just wondering whether there's kind of, see that's kind of the right color, isn't it? And then what have I got in the way of pinks? Maybe a bit of pink? Or maybe that pink might be better. I don't know. What do we think? Let's have a play. So I'm just going to take a photo of that. So I often do, when I've got a layout like this that I'm liking, I will often take a photo and just save it so that I've got a bit of a rough idea of what I'm doing. Okay, so I want to start with something greenish over here. So let's, and that's not brilliantly that color, is it? Just get a little bit of water and smear that about a bit and see how it changes that. Yes, that's okay. So I'm going to get that original first one. That I'll blend those together. So that's starting to turn into something. Okay, now I'm going to get a bit of this and use my beautifully coloured wedge. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on. That's a lot darker than that one, but I think it's still going to work. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I want to do some stenciling over the top. But while I'm waiting on that, I think I might do some stamping over here. I'm going to go in the orangey colour. Very technical when I do this kind of mixed media stamping. Keep it all very loose and fluid. Let me just do a little bit of, get the ink off like that. So I didn't re-ink with those ones. And so that, again, I've just got it loose. It doesn't even have any stickiness. I've used it like this so many times. So this one is a Kaisercraft stamp, and this one's just a Studio Calico. So I was thinking maybe this. That's by the same designer as the papers. I've also got the sequin waste, which I love using. So just got this little sponge. So there's not a huge amount of paint on there, but that's fine. It's also not super soft. I've used it a few times and haven't cleaned it properly. So I actually don't know how successful this is going to be. Often when I'm stenciling, I will actually just use my finger a bit like this, and I'll spread it out on my other hand to make sure I don't have too much paint on my finger so it doesn't bleed too much. Okay, so that's dried now, and I've got this sequin waste. I've got this little black heart over here. There's obviously lots of black in those ephemeras that I'm using. That's just one that I cut out of one of the papers. So that could be cute to include. So I'm actually thinking I might just grab the black paint and just add just a little bit. And again, I'm just going to use my finger. Again, just rub it on my other hand. Being a sequin waist, I really don't want a lot of paint on my hand. So just trying to balance enough paint to get the pattern, but not so much that it bleeds a whole lot. Just kind of overlapping a little bit with that other stencil. A bit up there. Cute. And maybe, so I've got this pink that's on here, so I'm going to try mixing this salmon and a little bit of magenta. That'll do. So I'm just going to move that little heart out of the way. I feel like I definitely need more of that blue, so I might even use like my Posca pen. So that's not too bad. Okay, and I've got lots of dots. I'm actually going to do these as crosses, and I'm going to overlap onto there and a touch over here. It's probably a bit thicker texture than I would ideally like. And possibly I have this neo color here, so I might even just do some little lines like this, maybe up here. So now the last thing I do need to do is actually put some dates on this. So I'm thinking I might even just write up this way, but I've got some paper here to practice on. I'm just going to carefully, because I still haven't glued that down, just going to carefully move that out of the way. It's like I have this brush pen. Okay, that's cute. So I'm going to cut those out. I don't know whether I'm actually going to like use this actual version that's on this printer paper, or whether I write it directly on there, but at least if I cut them out, then I can play with positioning. Okay. Oh, because that could actually work like that. Week in the life. Is done. Oh, little heart. I forgot about that one. I'll just tape that on really quickly. There. Okay, now I am actually done. Look, that is so cute. I'm so happy with that. So to get it in the album, I'm just going to get one of these page protectors out, and I'm thinking I'm going to use that as a template. I'll line it up with the bottom, I think, because it is slightly larger than the page that I've cut, and it's going to protect that tab. And then I can just turn it, get that lined up. I'm just going to use these holes here to line up with my crocodile. Actually, what I might do is just get my pen and I'm just going to mark those just so I don't damage the page protector by accidentally punching the hole in the wrong spot. At least if I mark it, then I can just see it a little bit easier. So the light here isn't the best at the minute, so that's going to be a bit more helpful. So I'm just going to 1/2 inch. No, I'm just going to adjust that down to there. Still not quite right. One more. Get it nice. If I do that, then they'll be in the same spot. That feels really close though, but it's where I've marked, so a bit worried about that actually. Anyway, let's pop it in. Perfect. Yeah, that is a little bit close. Oh, that looks so cute. That's actually turned out really well. The blue here matches the album, even though it's a different designer. I feel like that's turned out so well. Accidentally, not at all planned. Now that's done, I can go through and start making a bit of a plan for the photos. I'm just going to grab those, and then I think I'm going to cut these for top and bottom into sections, and then I can use those to timeline. Half of them are a mix of my good camera, half of them are my phone. So if I chop them up, lay them out, and then I can pull up my devices and work out which one goes where. I think, I don't know, I don't even remember what each day is. So I'll do that, then I can decide what size I want for each photo as well, I think. And so there it is, all done, ready to go. I am so excited to finally be making progress on this project, like 6 months after I first documented our week. And that's it done. How cute does that look? Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be back tomorrow with another. See you then.